They're off. Sasagula River broke a bit slowly. Speed from the center for Peely Island. Down along the inside, Alzado and Solo Surging both vie for position, with Wood Glen Court sticking his head in front. Tanist gets away in mid-pack, racing on the inside of Alnessa. Then it's a gap of 2 to Sasagula River, and the early trailer is Rose for Carrick. Wood Glen Court and Edgar Zenteno assume control a length to Alzado in second as they complete the opening quarter in 23-2. Here comes a rush from Sasagula River, splitting horses, and now moves into second under Steve Jadu. Solo Surging is between horses, being passed by Peely Island. Tanist gets going on the outside in sixth. Then it's Rose for Carrick, and the new trailer is Alnessa. They race within the 3, and it's still Wood Glen Court fending off the challenge of Sasagula River. These two have sprinted 5 lengths clear of the rest, but here comes Tanist with good momentum between horses under Jeffrey Alderson. Alzado is on the inside in 4th, and out wide Peely Island. Rose for Carrick is trying to rally, but with just over a furlong to go, it's now Sasagula River and Steve Jadu. They've put away Wood Glen Court. Tanist is trying to rally, but he still has 8 lengths to make up on the leaders. This is all Sasagula River. Sasagula River and Steve Jadu go on to win by 3 over Wood Glen Court, then Tanist, Alzado, Rose for Carrick, Peely Island, Alnessa, and Solo Surging, 118-1. They're off. A level beginning, speed on the inside for Frack City and Silent Mort. Sparter still racing closer with the blinkers on. At the back are the trailing duo of Hatrixie Moment and Rum Talk down along the inside. It's a speed duel up front between the 1-2 favorites Silent Mort and Frack City. Jason Hoyt has Smarter Still in good position third, 2 lengths off the dueling leaders. Then it's a gap of 3 to Hatrixie Moment and Robert Stewart, and tailed off in last is Rum Talk. 23-1 for the opening quarter, and now Silent Mort opens up on Frack City. He's up by a length and a half, but Smarter Still cruises into second, swinging to the outside. It's another 5 back to Hatrixie Moment and well back to Rum Talk. Down the stretch they come. It's Silent Mort and Helen Vanek on top, trying to fend off the challenge of Smarter Still. It's well back to a tired Frack City. It's down to 2 with a 16th of a mile to go. Silent Mort, here comes Smarter Still on the outside. They're head and head, neck and neck with 70 yards to go, but Silent Mort will prevail. Silent Mort ahead over Smarter Still, then Frack City, Hatrixie Moment, and Rum Talk. 5 furlongs and 58-3. They're off. Back to reality, broke best from the center of the gate. Name of the game to the outside with Ernie's Martini down along the rail. Attestation between horses taking back into 4th. Then we have Cadfael racing on the inside of Kentucky Bill. It's the favorite, back to reality at 4-5, leading a length and a half, being chased along by Name of the Game and Jeffrey Alderson. Ernie's Martini well spotted, third on the inside, 2.5 lengths off the leader with Attestation ridden along to his outside. Then it's Cadfael and Kentucky Bill still racing at the back. The first quarter was 22-4. It's Back to Reality, looking to make all under Sofia Vives with a 3-length advantage at the head of the lane. Name of the game begins to tire. Ernie's Martini on the inside and Attestation still there, but Back to Reality spurts 4 lengths clear with less than a furlong to go. The battle is for place as Back to Reality is much the best. Back to Reality and Sofia Vives win by 5. Ernie's Martini, name of the game, then Attestation. At the back were Kentucky Bill and Cadfael, 5 furlongs and 57-1. They're off. 4 Beach Friends with good early speed from the gate. Ridden along on the inside is Lemon Twist with Wolf Beach out wide, and between horses Dodester taking back into 4th. He's racing a length and a half better than Daddy Send Money, and the early trailer is Mach 2 Blue. They roll into the turn within the 3.5, and it's 4 Beach Friends and Kirk Johnson on top by 2, being chased now by Wolf Beach and Emil Ramsamy. Dodester is racing on the outside of Lemon Twist, who's saving ground 2.5 lengths better than Daddy Send Money, who's feeling the squeeze from Juan Crawford now, and it's well back to Mach 2 Blue. 22-4 for the first quarter. It's 4 Beach Friends still on top at the head of the lane. Wolf Beach begins to tire. He's being passed by Dodester. Lemon Twist down along the inside. A furlong to go, and they still need to reel in 4 Beach Friends, who's moving comfortably on the front end under Kirk Johnson. He's up by 2.5. Dodester not doing enough. This is all 4 Beach Friends. 4 Beach Friends wins by 2 over Dodester. Then Wolf Beach, Lemon Twist, Daddy Send Money, and Mach 2 Blue, 57-4. They're off over the mile 16th. Hot Omelet broke well near the outside. Towards the rail, Little Iris is ridden along with stablemate Candid Candace to her outside. Splitting them is Powaka. Then we have Bella Classica getting away in 5th. The stablemates from the Ken Smith barn take back early. Mimi's Holiday on the outside of Little Fire. They race into the clubhouse turn within the 7 furlong pole. The short lead belongs to Hot Omelet and Michael David. 3 parts of a length to Little Iris and Praven Badry as they complete the first quarter in 24 seconds flat. They turn into the backside and now face the wind. Candid Candace is 3rd, sharing position with Little Iris. Bella Classica and Juan Crawford out wide in 4th. They're now a length better than Powaka in the pink blinkers. It's another 6 back to Little Fire and Mimi's Holiday. Less than 4.5 furlongs to go. A quick half, 47-2. Hot Omelet motoring along on the front end as they race within the half. Little Iris still second on the inside of Candid Candace. Powaka back into 4th past a wide Bella Classica. The trailing duo begin to get closer now. Little Fire on the inside of Mimi's Holiday. Midway round the far turn now, and Hot Omelet is going for broke. She's opened up 4 lengths. She completes 3 quarters in 1:12 flat. Candid Candace now a clear second as Little Iris is squeezed along from third, Powaka fourth, then Little Fire, Bella Classica, and Mimi's Holiday. They reached ahead of the lane. It is still Hot Omelet and Michael David well clear. They're up by 5. Candid Candace trying to bridge the gap. A late charge from Little Fire down the far outside, but Hot Omelet is still clear with a 16th to home. It's Hot Omelet and Michael David. Candid Candace not doing enough. What a front end performance by Hot Omelet. Hot Omelet went quick fractions and held them off. Candid Candace second. Then Little Iris, Little Fire, Powaka, Bella Classica, and Mimi's Holiday, 146 and 1. They're off. Ala Turca missed the start. Speed on the inside for Getting Ahead. Hard ridden on the outside is Nicole's Song. Rifling gets away in third on the inside. 2 lengths better than Me Tormenta. And then it's another 4 to the slow starting Ala Turca. Just over 4 furlongs to travel. It's Getting Ahead. Bet down to 1 to 5 and on top under Michael David. Nicole's Song into Sean Gaskin. Second on the outside with Rifling. Luis Reyes in the navy blue and white moving up, advancing on the inside. Then it's Me Tormenta, Chad Lee, green blinkers, 2.5 lengths better than Ala Turca and Zeril Ford. Rifling slips up the inside and puts the head in front of Getting Ahead. Nicole's Song is under the whip in third, then Me Tormenta coming to the far outside in fourth, Ala Turca still at the back. Getting Ahead, trying to find another gear, trying to respond to the challenge of Rifling, who saved all the ground. Nicole's Song is a clear third as Me Tormenta tries to rally, but Rifling is getting away from Getting Ahead. She opens up a length and a half. Nicole's Song trying to come back into place, but this is all Rifling with a ground-saving ride under Luis Reyes. Rifling by 2.5 over Getting Ahead, then Nicole's Song, Me Tormenta, and Ala Turca, 5.5 and 104 and 3. They're off. Coach Kaylee and Night Saber both out slowly. Straight to the lead on the inside is Nice Baby, being chased along by My Cash Factor. Silent Passion gets away in third, a length better than No Visor. On the outside, Coach Kaylee is trying to rush into contention, and that leaves Night Saber as the trailer. Less than 5 furlongs to travel. It's Nice Baby and Vives on top of length to My Cash Factor, completing the opening quarter in 23 and 3. They bunch up now. Silent Passion is third, bet down to 3 to 5 with No Visor, fourth down along the inside. Widest on the course is Night Saber, and widest on the course is Coach Kaylee, and Night Saber is still the trailer. They race within the 3, and they begin to spread out a bit now. Nice Baby still has the lead, but My Cash Factor begins to apply pressure, and Silent Passion is cruising up 3 deep. The top 3 have opened up 4 lengths on the trailing 3. Night Saber rallies on the inside of No Visor, and Coach Kaylee is still widest. 47 and 1 to the half. It's still Nice Baby trying to fend off Silent Passion. With a furlong to go, Silent Passion assumes control at the furlong pole. Nice Baby tries to find more. My Cash Factor running a game 1, getting into second. Then we have Night Saber rallying, but Silent Passion, no doubt about it. Silent Passion and Helen Vanek by 3 over My Cash Factor, Nice Baby. Night Saber, Coach Kaylee and No Visor. 6.5 and 118.3. They're off. Stumbling at the start, Misty's Pride. Speed from the center for Mia and Me, joined by Little Red Domi to the outside and Super Iconic. Have to Reload takes back to mid-pack, being passed now by Misty's Pride. Out wide is Kitty Holiday, and the early trailer is Cooler Man. They race within the half. It's Mia and Me with the head in front of Little Red Domi. These two have sprinted 3 lengths clear of Super Iconic, with Kitty Holiday fourth. Have to Reload has been shuffled back to last as Cooler Man begins to advance. Also racing towards the rear is Misty's Pride. 23 and 2 for the opening quarter. It's still Mia and Me and Little Red Domi doing battle up front. Super Iconic getting closer in third. Cooler Man is out wide with Kitty Holiday, then well back to Have to Reload and Misty's Pride. It's Mia and Me trying to get away from a stubborn Little Red Domi. They've set it up well for Super Iconic, who's rallying down the outside, trying to gain on Mia and Me. Mia and Me drifting in. Here comes Super Iconic, and Zero Ford. Super Iconic a neck to Mia and Me, then Little Red Domi, Kitty Holiday, Cooler Man, Have to Reload, and Misty's Pride. 5.5 and 104 and 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fort Erie Racetrack and happy Fort Foodie Fest Day here at Fort Erie. It is our annual food truck festival sponsored by TELUS. Downstairs by the walking ring, many food trucks on site here, as well as a 6-race card. It's cloudy outside, but luckily we seem to be avoiding the worst of the rain. 21 Celsius, 71 Fahrenheit with a breeze. It says 7 miles per hour on screen, but right now the flags are pretty static. Main track is fast and we are firm on turf with the rail out 12 feet, 29 minutes to first post. Visit our website, fortierieracing.com, for information about everything going on here at the track. Tune into the pre-race show for info about the track conditions, scratches and changes, handicapping, and info about upcoming races and events. Racing is back tomorrow at Fort Erie. Post time will be 12:15. And today is Fort Foodie Fest, the food truck festival kicking off downstairs. Fort Foodie Fest sponsored by TELUS. The 91st running of the Prince of Wales Stakes is coming up on Labor Day. The post position draw will be taking place this Thursday, September 3rd at noon. You can catch the live stream at fortierieracing.com. And a reminder, Labor Day, September 7th, will be the 91st running of the Prince of Wales Stakes. Returning this year for the Prince of Wales will be the fashion contest. The best dressed ladies win a gift certificate to A Lasting Impressions Lifestyle Boutique in Ridgeway. The purse of the Prince of Wales this year has been up to $500,000. In total, there will be nearly $1 million in purse money up for grabs on one of Canada's finest days of thoroughbred action. And if you're looking for some fashion for Prince of Wales Day, the customer service booth is now selling women's fascinators. Anthem singer Selena Carlson will return to Fort Erie to sing the Canadian and American national anthems on Prince of Wales Day. Fort Erie's Track-A-Lantern returns on Monday, October 12th. Starting at noon, kids in costume can trick-or-treat around the track. Treat your team to an exciting day at the races. It's only $15 per person. The track pack includes one food item, one drink, and a Fort Erie live racing program. For more information, go to our website. We're having non-winning ticket draws today at Fort Erie. The draw will take place after the 4th race. Today's draw features a dog goodie bag courtesy of Pet Food Outlet. Book your table in the Turfside Dining Room, open on live racing days. Reservations are recommended. Head down to the Paddock Shack for burgers, hot dogs, sausages, fries, and poutine, plus beer and soft drinks, located near the walking ring. Become a member of HPIBet.com today. Get $100 when you bet $100, plus your first bet is on us. Tune into your TV Niagara for the Fort Erie Race Replay Show, Channel 70 HD or 100 Epico, Thursdays at 10:30, Saturdays at 4, and Sundays at noon. Jackpot High Five wagering has been suspended until Prince of Wales Day. There will be a mandatory payout in excess of $14,000. Smoking is allowed in designated areas only at Fort Erie Racetrack. No food or beverage are allowed in these areas, and no cannabis is allowed on the property. Up next are today's changes. In race 1, we have a vet scratch of the number 1, Kid Gizmo. Take out the 1. In race 2, we have a rider change on the number 4, Get Out the Vote. Make the rider Steve Jadu. Race 3, there will be no show and no superfecta wagering. We have a vet scratch of the number 1, 4 Beach Friends. Steward scratch the number 2, Super Serenade, so scratch numbers 1 and 2. And an ownership correction on the number 6, Canasher. The ownership should read Joseph Michlik and Sharon Chicato. Race 4 is clear. Race 5 is clear. And race 6 is clear. No changes in races 4, 5, and 6. Joined here by Ashley Mayu today as we have our pregame show for Fort Foodie Fest. Ashley, what do you think of today's 6-race card?
It's a little interesting. I think there's some shorter prices, especially in the back half of the card, that I like them. I don't know how much I trust them, so maybe we'll see some, spicier things in the late pick 4 and the pick 5 sequence. But I think the pick 5 is where I'm going to focus in on today. I think that first race of the sequence, race 2, is pretty competitive. Some really nice fillies and mares in there.
Yeah, I agree, and thankfully we are still on the turf for today's card. It looks like the weather is trying to stay on our side, so let's take a look at our picks on today's card. Race 1 is a 5,000 claimer for the mares. This race is sponsored by TELUS. It's a non-winners of the year, non-4, going about 7 furlongs. Kicks off the early pick 4, and where did you land here?
Yeah, I had to kind of, I guess, deflect to a horse that I used in the second spot as the top pick, that being the 3 Built Different with the scratch of the one Kid Gizmo, excuse me. I thought this horse ran really well in her 40 Erie debut last time out. She was rolling from mid-pack, second best behind Nadia Nice. And we know Nadia Nice, Doug, is a horse that when she gets loose on the lead, she's dangerous. So maybe the trip didn't work out for that one last time out. She can be a short price, though.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Built Different ran fantastic. She was very game to hold off her stablemate Voice from Above for the place spot. And big class relief here coming down from the optional 12-5. They claim this one for 4,000 American at Turf Paradise. So if they can get a win here, if she gets claimed, it's not a loss. So I agree, Built Different. The one to beat, and one that you picked last time that I think is in with a chance, is the number 4 Gambler's Pose, who won last time out with a nice ride from Kirk Johnson. Moving on to race 2, it's an $8,000 claimer for the fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race this year or which have never won 4. 5.5 furlongs the distance, and this race kicks off the pick 5 sequence that you are interested in today.
Yeah, and I mentioned this is a really competitive bunch. They're running for good purse money. I think, pace. There's a little bit signed on in here. You don't know what the new faces to 40 are going to do. I went to the 2 Mo Argento as the top pick. I think this is a really nice filly in the barn of Nick Malini Jr., who was able to kind of bounce back after that disappointing effort on the 20th of July. And you can see one of her assets, Doug, is her speed. And I do think in here that might be the right move. Others are going to hope that she locks up maybe with the 6 in here, Midnight Sadie. But I do think having that dirt experience gives her a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, I agree. Mo Argento definitely live. The Nick Malini barn has been on a very good run the last few weeks. I ended up on the number 3 here, Really Thirsty, looking for a bit of a price, 10-1 on the morning line. Really Thirsty is dropping down from the A other than optional 12-5 level. I thought she raced well last time. She had some early trouble as Dreaming of Hope kind of cut off the whole field. Dreaming of Hope, Spirit Bear was a $25,000 claim at Woodbine. Periwinkle was a $32,000 claim. So I think Really Thirsty is getting a lot of class relief in its second start for Sharon Chicotto. Race 3 is puts us back on the turf course. It's an 8,000 claimer for non-winners of 3, sprinting about 5 furlongs to kick off the late pick 4. 2 notable scratches on the inside, 4 Beach Friends and Super Serenade, take us down to a field of 4, so there's no show and no superfecta wagering. I landed on the number 5, Diomedes, for the Kevin Buttigieg barn, just hoping that the switch back to turf will get this one back to form, as he's really done no running on dirt to date.
Yeah, and they've been trying to get this one on the grass, right? I think we've been off for a couple of days now here at Fort Erie, so nice that so far we're still on the grass today. I agree with you. I really respect this horse. I do think with the 2 scratches, though, I don't know what's going to happen early on in this race, especially going 5 So I stick with the 3 in here, Heavy Like a Chevy, who I know disappointed last time out, but, came out of a productive race. It's really the turf effort 2-back that I key in on, where this one was much the best on the front end. And I'm a little worried for everyone else. You like this horse, too. If this one gets loose, they're going to have a tough time catching him.
Yeah, exactly. My concern originally when stablemate 4 Beach Friends was in the race was which one was going to the lead, because they both looked like
Right.
the leaders. Now 4 Beach Friends is out, and I think Heavy Like a Chevy will get rolling on the front end, and I'm just hoping Diomedes is classy enough to run him down. But I do think it will come down to those 2 in this short sprint. Race 4 is a 5,000 claimer for the mares, which haven't won a race this year or which have never won 4. It's a 5.5 furlong sprint, and it kicks off the final rolling pick 3 of the card.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of a tricky race. This is where I think you might get into some favorites that are potentially a little vulnerable. That includes the 4 American, of course, who I do use on the top spot. I was torn between her and the 1 Easter Sunday Girl, Doug. And, I went back to the races. I do think she's held her own. She certainly was able to beat several of these fillies and mares on her first start off a lengthy layoff. So I use her, but I see you really like the other horse I talked about, Easter Sunday Girl, who looked pretty good winning off the claim last time out.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Easter Sunday Girl since she's come down here. Her only poor effort was that race against the boys on July 27th, but she looked very good in her first start for the Chicado barn. I like the inside draw. Luis Reyes is starting to gain some momentum. American, of course, is a very back classy mare. She's a 10-time winner. I just haven't found her resistance in that final furlong has been very strong in those last couple of races. The other one that I've been waiting for a big effort from is the number 5 Pop Chart. I thought this horse would really fit in at Fort Erie, and she's racing well, but she just hasn't broken through. But I could see a good effort coming from her with the live team of Cathcart and Alexis Sanchez. Race 5 is our final turf race of the day. It's a non-winners of 2 allowance going about 1 mile to kick off the late double with I think a pretty competitive group of 6.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, everyone comes in here off at least a solid effort, maybe not a winning race, but, a lot of the respect here is going to go to the fresh face, the 3 Go-Go Alexander, claim last time out for 25,000. They go in this spot. I think in terms of the figures, they're going to stand out a little bit. They're higher than everyone else in this field, and 4th best last time out, but it was a field of 10, and I thought the horse still raced pretty well facing winners for the first time. So I'll use this one, but I can see, we see this race very similarly. Sunset Skippy, that effort 2-back was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think Go-Go Alexander is the clear horse to beat. I just figured 9 to 5 morning line is going to be more like 2 to 5 come post time. And I just really like Sunset Skippy's effort on the turf 2 starts ago. Really was well ridden by Jeffrey Alderson to find a path, very game. And then came back in an allowance race where Grand Warrior was the lone speed, and he held his own to be second, 19 lengths ahead of the rest. So these society chairmen really like the turf, and if Luis Contreras can map out a trip, I think Sunset Skippy is the one who could maybe give Go-Go Alexander a run at a better price. Last race of the day, race 6 is a maiden allowance for the fillies and mares going 6 furlongs. There's no jackpot high 5 wagering as we've suspended that until Prince of Wales Day. So just our standard win play show, exactor trying super to close out the day in a pretty wide open maiden allowance affair.
It's a good way to summarize this race. I wouldn't be shocked if any of these 7 find their way in the winner's circle for the first time. I think kind of looking at the horses that have raced so far, I don't usually pick 0 for 18 maidens on top, and I go to Noisy Girl off the last out effort. I do think she raced very well. It was different tactics that were kind of deployed in that race as she was last early on. I don't think that'll be the game plan here, but you never know. You have a first-time starter in this field. Maybe they'll go a couple of other horses. I hope she just sits maybe 2-3 off of it and tries one run.
Yeah, one thing I'm going to say, Brian Shane's been getting a few more rides for Roy Augustino in the last few weeks, and for the most part, if they haven't been winning, but they've been running well. A lot of them have been improving. We saw Catholic Jackie run a good second at Woodbine. Alzado was an okay 4th last week after being up the track in like 3 races in a row. And he got along well with Noisy Girl last time. I really liked her effort. It was a good run. I've gone with the number 4 Bermuda Brew coming in from Woodbine for Noel Williams and Bermuda Blue Farm. This is a horse who has had nothing but bad luck at Woodbine. A lot of these races might not look good on paper, but if you watch the replays, you see like this horse, she runs well. If she likes the dirt and gets a clean trip, I think she's definitely got a win in her either here or at Woodbine. It's just a matter of getting the luck. So best of luck to Bermuda Blue Farm, who have been longtime supporters of Fort Erie Racetrack. So 15 minutes to first post today. Enjoy this cloudy afternoon here at Fort Erie. Lots of food trucks downstairs. Enjoy Fort Foodie Fest. Thank you to our sponsor, TELUS, for sponsoring this great event here at Fort Erie. Best of luck and enjoy your day here at Fort Erie Racetrack.
It's easy to make a bet on HPIBet.com. Follow these simple steps and you'll be betting in no time. First, go to the HPIBet.com website. Sign in to your HPI Bet account. Find the track and race you want to bet on. Click on the Place Bet button. Click on the bet type you want to wager with. Click on the amount you want to wager. Click on the horse you want to wager on. Click on the green Place Bet button. Review your bet confirmation information. It's all done. Remember, all this can be done on most mobile devices. Now cheer on your pick to victory.
Field is making their way on track for today's first race. Race 1 is a claimer for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race in 2026 or which have never won 4 races. We're going for a claiming price of $5,000 down to $4,750, traveling about 7 furlongs over the turf course, competing for a purse of $20,250. Race 1 is sponsored by TELUS. It offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent super, 20-cent pick 3, and 20-cent early pick 4 wagering. Race 1 post parade, scratch the 1. Number 2 is Beautiful Sky. Deshaun Gaskin rides for trainer Dale Powell, who owns in partnership with Ken Gabb. Number 3 is Built Different. Zerrell Ford has the call for trainer Phil Hall, who owns in partnership with Brian Albertson. Six Brothers Stable own the number 4, Gambler's Pose. Kirk Johnson pilots for trainer Ken Albu. Number 5 is Domer Allure. Pierre Mailhot riding for trainer Alicia Robillard and owner Bruno Schickadans. Completing the field, number 6, In It to Win It, Luis Reyes riding for trainer Kevin Buttigieg and owner Colebrook Farms. 3 minutes to post for race 1. Early pick 4 wagering kicks off here. We are on the turf. Field is making their way onto the turf course for race 1. Current favorite at 7-5 is the number 3 Built Different. 2-1 support on the number 4 Gambler's Pose. This race kicks off today's early pick 4, going the extended 7 furlongs over the turf course. Last call to get your wagers here in race 1. Race 1 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. Still favored at 6-5 is the number 3 Built Different. First of 6 today for Fort Foodie Fest Day. First in is Beautiful Sky with Deshaun Gaskin. The favorite, Built Different, was Zerrell Ford. Gambler's Pose and Kirk Johnson. Domer Allure with Pierre Mailhot. And last in will be In It to Win It with Luis Reyes. All set. They're off in the first on Fort Foodie Fest Day. This race sponsored by TELUS. They all broke well. Speed on the inside from Beautiful Sky with Splitting Horses, Gambler's Pose, and out widest In It to Win It. Domer Allure takes back in the early trailer. Near the lead, though, is the favorite, Built Different. A bit of a rough run into the opening turn for Domer Allure. The lead belongs to Beautiful Sky and Deshaun Gaskin, a length and a half to Gambler's Pose and Kirk Johnson. Built Different is saving ground and is into third, racing in a trio with Domer Allure, who's widest, with In It to Win It. The first quarter was 24-4. They raced down the backside, and it's still Beautiful Sky controlling the tempo, being chased along by Gambler's Pose. Domer Allure third in the 3-path, with Built Different saving ground at 3-5, and that leaves In It to Win It, the distinct trailer. They race into the far turn. They've still yet to reach Beautiful Sky, who's moving comfortably on the front end, past a half in 48-2. Built Different looks poised into second. Domer Allure under a ride in third, with Gambler's Pose to her inside, and then another 3 to In It to Win It. Built Different comes off the inside to challenge Beautiful Sky as they turn for home, but Beautiful Sky responds and opens up 2. In It to Win It trying to re-rally. It's well back to Domer Allure and Gambler's Pose. A furlong to go, and Beautiful Sky looking to make all has opened up 3. Not enough from Built Different, who's stalling in second. Well back to Domer Allure in third. Beautiful Sky, a front-end score under Deshaun Gaskin. Beautiful Sky by 4. Then Built Different, Domer Allure, In It to Win It, and Gambler's Pose. 125-3. Unofficial in race 1, the winner is number 2, Beautiful Sky. Second, number 3, Built Different. Third, number 5, Domer Allure. And fourth, number 6, In It to Win It. Unofficial race 1 order, 2, 3, 5, 6. Now returning to the winner's circle is the race 1 unofficial winner, number 2, Beautiful Sky. Beautiful Sky is a 5-year-old dark bay or brown mare by Sky Mesa out of Another Flashback, bred here in Ontario by Karen Carroll. A gate-to-wire victory today under Deshaun Gaskin. Beautiful Sky is trained by Dale Powell, who owns in partnership with Ken Gabb. Third lifetime win in 20 starts for Beautiful Sky, who takes her Fort Erie debut as a much the best winner, completing the about 7 furlongs in a winning time of 1:25.3. We'd like to thank TELUS for sponsoring race 1 today. Hold all tickets until race 1 is made official. Race 1 is now official. Prices are up. Beautiful Sky returns $10.70 to win, $3.80 and $2.40. Second, number 3, Built Different, $2.50 to place, $2.10. Third, number 5, Domer Allure, $2.50 to show. $2 exacta, 2.3, 18.10. The $1 try, 2.35, 22.55. $1 super, 2.356, 70.80. We had a claim out of race 1. The number 3, Built Different, claimed by Bruno Schickedans, moves to the barn of trainer Alicia Robillard. We'd like to give a thank you to our partners at True Green Professional Lawn Care, who have been helping us keep our grass looking green and lush. And we're proud to partner with Oneida New Holland of Niagara. We'd like to thank them for providing us with a tractor for our racetrack maintenance. Race 2 is coming up in 18 minutes. We have a rider change on the number 4. Get out the vote. Make the rider Steve Jadu.
Race 2 going to kick off the pick 5 here. 5.5 furlongs is the distance on the main track for these fillies and mares, and they're in for a claiming price of $8,000. Really competitive group. Kind of looking at the horses in here. One of those races on the card, I think there's 2 of them that you feel like anyone could find the winner's circle, and that's certainly the case. I did go to the 2 in here, Mo Argento for Nick Bellini Jr., a horse that was able to re-find the winner's circle last time out after a little bit of a disappointing 4th place finish 2 back. I do think, though, last time out she was more involved early, and that's sort of her running style. She wants to be part of the action, typically at least in her races, maybe a max of 1-2 lengths off of it, and she was used that day by Helen Vanek, and she was able to prevail. I thought the runner-up, Lizzie Yates, a horse that's been better in her last 2. So I do hold a lot of respect for Mo Argento. I think the waters obviously get deeper as, she picked up that 3rd career victory, and now she has to face the fillies and mares with a little bit more in the win column on their resume. So I will use her. I do think the one, Ash Carnelli, you always have to look at her because she is game as they come. I mean, look at her last year here, 8 for 9 in the money, 2 trips to the winner's circle. We saw her with a win already now in 2026, and she's yet to finish out of the top 3. She absolutely loves it here. She's actually even a winner on the turf. There's nothing she can't really do. She just needs pace to develop, I feel like, in her races, and she was rolling late last time out. She's actually the horse going by me right now. And she just missed by a narrow margin. She couldn't get out the vote, who she'll have to face once again. But looking at her here, this is sort of the behavior that we expect from Ash Carnelli. She can be a little tightly wound, a little bit on her toes, but she looks very good in here. She does draw the inside, so she'll be able to save some ground. Hopefully doesn't get herself into any trouble. There should be enough pace for her, so I do use her. And we'll see if Deshaun Gaskin can add, as he was able to take the opener here on the Sunday program. Finally, the number 3, Really Thirsty, was 10-1 on the morning line, and moments ago was favored in this event. A horse that is a 3-time winner this year. I mean, she's really come to life now at the age of 5, and she will be, I think, even further back than Ash Carnelli. She typically just makes this really late move, and we saw that on full display 2 back, going the 5/8 distance. More recently, she was a little bit closer to the action, and she just didn't fire her best of efforts, but she obviously took a big jump up in class. She was coming out of that claiming event, then was in an allowance optional claiming race, and she had trouble in there. So I'm willing to forgive her for the last out. I think she's a really respectable runner and a horse that she can do anything as well. She's very good. Her late turn of foot is actually held up on the dirt as well as the turf course. And with this being a speed favoring track, sometimes you don't think that's the right move here on the main track, but she has shown that she can get a piece, if not the big check, in the final stages. But to me, I wanted a better price on her. She is very short right now on the tote board. So very competitive way here to kick off the pick 5. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's second race. Race 2 is a claimer for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race in 2026 or which have never won 4 races. We're going for a claiming price of $8,000 down to $7,000, traveling a distance of 5 1/2 furlongs, competing for a purse of $26,550. Race 2 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent super, 20-cent pick 3, and 20-cent pick 5 wagering. Race 2 post parade. Number 1 is Ashkar Nelly. Deshaun Gaskin rides for trainer Kevin Buttigieg and owner Colebrook Farms. Number 2 is Mo Argento. Kirk Johnson has the call for trainer Nick Malini Jr. and owner Bruno Schickedans. Number 3 is Really Thirsty. Luis Reyes pilots for trainer Sharon Chicotto, who owns with Jim Vatier and Michael Thomas Green. Number 4 is Get Out the Vote. Steve Jadu picks up the mount for trainer John Sims, who owns with Denise Carpenter. Number 5 is Zip Fire, racing for Alton Robotham. Pierre Mailhot rides for trainer Claudia Rabstein. Completing the field, number 6, Midnight Sadie. Zerrell Ford rides for trainer Julie Mathis and owner Bruno Schickedans. 2 minutes to post for race 2, pick 5 wagering, offered here. Starting gate is moved into position. Not much time left to get your race 2 wagers in. Current favorite at 2-1 is the number 2, Mo Argento. This race kicks off today's pick 5. Wager now. Race 2 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. First in is Ash Carnelli, looking to give Deshaun Gaskin both ends of today's early double. Mo Argento and Kirk Johnson, the 2-1 favorite. Really Thirsty and Luis Reyes to gate 3. Get Out the Vote with Steve Jadu. Zipfire and Pierre Mailhot. Last in will be Midnight Sadie with Zerrell Ford. Midnight Sadie goes in. All set. They're off. They broke in a perfect line. Ash Carnelli out well from the inside with Zipfire, and now splitting foes to make the lead is Mo Argento. Really Thirsty taking closer order between horses with Get Out the Vote getting away in second, and out widest is Midnight Sadie. The whole field within 2.5 lengths as they race within the 4. It's a battle up front now between Mo Argento and Kirk Johnson and Get Out the Vote and Steve Jadu. Really Thirsty finds herself in a good stalking position, alone in third under Luis Reyes as they complete the quarter in 22-2. Then we have Ash Carnelli moving well in fourth, advancing past Midnight Sadie, and Zipfire after a good beginning is the trailer. Just over 2 furlongs to travel. Get Out the Vote puts the head in front of Mo Argento, but Really Thirsty has come to the 3-path and has cruised into a battle for the front. It is Really Thirsty who's opened up 2 lengths on Get Out the Vote, but Ash Carnelli making a strong rally down the center of the course. It's down to 2. Really Thirsty trying to hold off the challenge of Ash Carnelli. Well back to a tired Get Out the Vote. Really Thirsty and Luis Reyes drive home to win by 2. Really Thirsty over Ash Carnelli, then Get Out the Vote, a photo for fourth between Zipfire and Mo Argento. 5.5 and 104 and 4. Unofficial in race 2, the winner is number 3, Really Thirsty. Second, number 1, Ash Carnelli. Third, number 4, Get Out the Vote. It's a photo for fourth. Hold all tickets. In the fourth place photo, it's the number 5, Zipfire. Unofficial race 2 order is 3-1-4-5. Now returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's second race, number 3, Really Thirsty. Really Thirsty is a 5-year-old dark bay or brown mare by Stay Thirsty out of Interissa, bred in California by Terry Lovenier. Ridden to victory today by Luis Reyes, Really Thirsty is trained by Sharon Chicotto, who owns in partnership with Jim Vatier and Michael Thomas Green. That's the 4th win in 2026 for Really Thirsty, her 6th lifetime win in 23 starts. A very consistent 5-year-old mare. She completes the 5.5 furlongs today in a winning time of 104 and 4. Congratulations to the connections of Really Thirsty. Hold all tickets until race 2 is made official. Race 2 is now official. Really Thirsty returns 720 to win, 360 and 270. Second, number 1, Ash Carnelli, 310 to place, 220. Third, number 4, Get Out the Vote, 410 to show. $2 exacta, 3-1, 1860. The $1 try, 3-1-4, $36 even. $1 super, 3-1-4-5, 90-80. And the $2 double, 2-3, 45-70. Two claims out of race 2. The winner, Really Thirsty, claimed by Bruno Schickadans, moves to the barn of trainer Julie Mathis. Also claimed was the number 6, Midnight Sadie, claimed by Zed Grinsteins, moves to the barn of trainer Claudia Rabstein. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors at All-in-One Legal Concierge. If you have legal hurdles, you can bet on All-in-One. Race 3 is up next. Vet scratch the number 1, 4 Beach Friends. Stewart scratch the number 2, Super Serenade. Take out numbers 1 and 2. Corrected ownership on the number 6, Canasher, should read Joseph Mitchlick and Sharon Chicotto. No show and no superfecta wagering in race 3, 17 minutes to post.
Race 3 up next, back on the turf course here at 5 furlongs. It's an $8,000 claiming event for non-winners of 3 Life, and a very compact field here to kick off that late pick 4 sequence. The 1 and the 2 are out, so just a field of 4, and we saw it earlier on the grass in the opener that if you made it to the front and you could kind of cruise on the front end, you prevailed. And I do wonder, kind of looking at the 4 that's staying here, if this sets up beautifully for the 3 Heavy Like a Chevy, who has that early gate speed, can kind of go to the front end and maybe be able to just wait and hang on there to win. That's certainly the case 2 back, and even 4 back was even easier, winning by nearly 5 lengths. That was the grass race. The race 2 back was carded for the turf and moved to the main track, and a horse that just has that natural speed. So we know that it holds certainly on the main track, but loved the turf effort from this one 4 back. So I'm going to make this one the top pick. It's really tough to say what the others are going to do, especially with it being a compact field. Maybe other horses will be a little bit more forward than usual. The 5 Diomedes here for the Kevin Buttigieg barn. You can see disappointing efforts as of late, but has only 1 start off a very long layoff. You're talking over 13 months. It was on the dirt. It was an experiment. It was an allowance event, and it just didn't work out for him. He did show some early foot. I really think the key today will be getting on the grass. When you look at his win, it was on the turf. I think that's going to make a difference. And some of his figures, you have to go really far back to find those races with that long layoff factored in, would kind of tower over this bunch. So I do think this one getting back on the grass is going to come back to life, and a major player in here. And then finally, the horse that just went by in here, the 6 Conacher. This one goes out for Sharon Chicato for the first time off the claim. I didn't mind the effort 3 back. It was going 6.5, made the lead late and surrendered. You wonder if the cut back to 5/8 suits this one, as well as just the change of scenery. So tough to say what the tactics will be. I think based on the effort 3 back, he should be a little bit more involved. The only horse that we haven't talked about is the 4 Burkus for Mickey Neubauer. Disappointed in the return, but had really strong turf races last year. Won at the 5 furlong distance when this was able to graduate, and then stretching out around 2 turns. So maybe needed that race last time out. So it is a compact field, but 4 chances in here to kick off the late pick 4 sequence. Good luck.
field is making their way on track for today's third race. Race 3 is a claimer for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races, going for a claiming price of $8,000 down to $7,000. We're traveling about 5 furlongs over the turf course, competing for a purse of $26,550. No show and no superfecta wagering in race 3. Race 3 offers win place, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent pick 3, and 20-cent late pick 4 wagering. Race 3 post parade, scratch numbers 1 and 2. Number 3 is Heavy Like a Chevy. Zerrell Ford rides for trainer Julie Mathis and owner David Mathis. Number 4 is Burkus. Pierre Mailhot pilots for trainer Mickey Neubauer and owner Lori Norris. Henley Thoroughbreds own the number 5, Diomedes. Deshaun Gaskin rides for trainer Kevin Buttigieg. Completing the field, number 6, Canasher. Luis Reyes rides for trainer Sharon Chicato, who owns in partnership with Joseph Mishlik. 2 minutes to post for race 3, first leg of today's late pick 4. We are on the turf. Race 3 field has made their way onto the turf course before the starting gate takes position. Last call to get your race 3 wagers in. 6-5 favorite is the number 3, Heavy Like a Chevy. This race kicks off today's late pick 4. Race 3 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. 6-5 on Heavy Like a Chevy, who will be the first to load under Zerrell Ford. The French-bred Burkus will be the next up under Pierre Mailhot. Diomedes with Deshaun Gaskin. Last in will be Canasher, looking to give Luis Reyes and Sharon Chicato a race-to-race double. Diomedes is in. Canasher steps up. All set. They're off. Canasher broke a bit slowly. Speed on the inside from Heavy Like a Chevy, and Diomedes trying to keep up early. Burkus gets away in third on the inside, racing as a pair with Canasher. Heavy Like a Chevy and Zerrell Ford, 3 parts of a length to Diomedes. These two set the early fractions. They're racing 2 lengths better than Canasher, who's third on the outside of Burkus. They race into the turn, completing the opening quarter in 22-2, and Heavy Like a Chevy is trying to get away from Diomedes, who's ridden along by Deshaun Gaskin. Burkus is traveling well on the inside, looking for a path, and Canasher trails just 3 lengths off the lead. Heavy Like a Chevy corners well. He's up by 1.5 lengths as they race down the stretch. Diomedes is still chasing in second. Burkus stalling on the inside, and Canasher tries to rally. They have 3 lengths to make up on Heavy Like a Chevy, who's traveling well under Zerrell Ford. The battle is for place as they come down to the wire. Heavy Like a Chevy takes them all the way. Heavy Like a Chevy geared down at the wire. Canasher second, then Burkus and Diomedes. The about 5 furlongs completed in 59 flat. Unofficial in race 3, the winner is number 3, Heavy Like a Chevy. Second, number 6, Canasher. Third, number 4, Burkus. And fourth, number 5, Diomedes. Unofficial race 3 order is 3, 6, 4, 5. Now returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's third race, number 3, Heavy Like a Chevy. Heavy Like a Chevy is a 4-year-old Greyer Roan gelding by Signature Red out of Bears Pearl, bred here in Ontario by Colebrook Farms. A gate-to-wire victory under Zerrell Ford. Heavy Like a Chevy is trained by Julie Mathis. For David Mathis, that's the 20th win this season for trainer Julie Mathis. 3 wins this year for Heavy Like a Chevy, who's now 3 for 15 in his career. He goes gate to wire, completing the about 5 furlongs in a time of 59 flat. Congratulations to the connections of Heavy Like a Chevy. Race 3 is now official. Prices are up. Heavy Like a Chevy returns $7.90 to win and $3 to place. Second, number 6, Canasher, $3.20 to place. There is no show wagering in race 3. $2 exacta, 3-6, $14.10. The $1 try, 3-6-4, $21.80. No superfecta in race 3. The $2 double, a pair of threes, $22.30, and the $1 pick 3, $68.25. And we'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Mike Newell. Happy birthday, Newley, from all of your friends and family here at Fort Erie Racetrack. This year, the Trackside Tiki Bar is sponsored by The Place Bar and Grill, the place to go after the races at 981 Garrison Road. And we'd like to give a shout out to our partners at Portage M&A Advisory. You've already made history. Now it's time to make your future. Race 4 is coming up in 19 minutes. There are no changes.
3 down, 3 to go here. Upcoming here in the fourth is a race for the fillies and mares. $5,000 is the claiming price, and they'll compete at 5.5 furlongs here on the main track. I'll kick things off here with the number 4 American, of course. This one goes out for Icon Racing, Tony Adamo. Obviously, she's fallen a little short in those last two and has been the runner-up in both of those efforts. But I do think, kind of looking at those races, Zipfire ran a huge race. Silent Passion got the perfect setup to back, and maybe that worked against her. This is a mare, though, that raced extremely well off the lengthy layoff. She was able to command in there and take it by 2.5, and that was really the key for me, is looking at the fillies and mares that finished behind her. You have Pop Chart, you have Frackamore, horses that she has to tackle once again today. So hopefully she can get the job done, but by no means do I trust her. I think if you're looking at the late pick 3, she's just a horse that I couldn't single here, given the fact that she's come up short in those last two. So some others to look at: the 1 Easter Sunday Girl. I think she's been an interesting horse here. She was ice cold in that first start off the layoff, and she was able to win easily at 11-1. I thought her following start, she was a little bit more aggressively ridden in that race early on, and maybe she paid the price just a little bit as she tired in that event. Now, a 3 back, I really don't know what happened. She didn't fire at all, but I will say she tackled the males that day, so waters were probably just a little bit deeper there, even though you might not see that on paper. And then last time out in her first start for the barn, she was able to pick up that 3rd career victory. And I think it was down to the tactics, where I don't think she wants to be that forward. I think she wants to sit and come with 1 run. I do think when she's sort of hustled in position, it's not worked out in her favor. And I do think that's going to be key here for Louise Reyes on the inside. Just let her break well, get into a rhythm, and then call upon her. She does have a pretty good late turn of foot. And the opposite of that will be the number 3, Frackamore, who is the last horse here to come over on the walk and enter the paddock. Can't miss her. She's a good little gray looking mare who is speedy. She has one way of going, and this has been basically since day one. She needs to be forward. She uses her speed. Whether or not she can carry herself to the wire in front is the big question. It's been a while since she's found the winner's circle. 2024 was a stellar year for her. And since that year, 2025, and this season, she's just had that 1 win. But I will give her a lot of credit for the effort last time out. I know she was well defeated, but she was able to really show her speed once again. I feel like in some of her races, she just hasn't had the same fight that we've come to know over the years, and it was nice to see her rekindle that form last time out, even though she came up a little bit short. So I will use her. I'll use her underneath. I just think, looking at the win column the last couple of seasons, she's another one that's a little untrustworthy in this upcoming 4. So I do go to the 4 American, of course, on top, but if the tote board's right, the 1 Easter Sunday Girl might be the right price. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's fourth race. Race 4 is a claiming race for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race this year or which have never won 4 races. We're going for a claiming price of $5,000 down to $4,750, traveling 5 1/2 furlongs, competing for a purse of $20,250. Race 4 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, 20-cent super, and 20-cent pick 3 wagering. Race 4 post parade, number 1 is Easter Sunday Girl. Luis Reyes rides for trainer Sharon Chicotto, who owns with Lori Parsons and Jeff Mansell. Number 2 is Golden Spring, racing for Radcliffe Racing Stable. Michael David rides for trainer Ken Smith. Number 3 is Frackamore. Kirk Johnson pilots for trainer Julie Mathis and owner David Mathis. Number 4 is American of Course. Zerrell Ford has the call for trainer Tony Adamo and Icon Racing Stables. Number 5 is Pop Chart, ridden today by Alexis Sanchez for trainer Steve Cathcart and owner Pan Am Racing. Number 6 is She's Hot to Trot, Steve Jadu in the saddle for trainer Julie Mathis and owner Bruno Schickadans. Completing the field, number 7, Bridge to Nowhere, Deshaun Gaskin riding for trainer Joe Humber and owner Tessa Passero. 1 minute to post for race 4. This race kicks off today's final rolling pick 3. Starting gate about to take position. Not much time left to get your race 4 wagers in. 4 to 5 favorite is the number 4 American of Course. 7 to 2 on the number 1 Easter Sunday Girl. This is your final chance to play a pick 3 today. Last call to get your race 4 wagers in. Race 4 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. American, of course, still the even money favorite. In this field of 7 fillies and mares, Easter Sunday Girl, the first to go in under Luis Reyes. The gray, Frackamore, will be next with Kirk Johnson. American, of course, at 4 to 5. Zero Ford looking for a race-to-race double. Pop Chart with Alexis Sanchez. She's Hot to Trot with Steve Jadu. Two more to load. Bridge to Nowhere and Deshaun Gaskin. And the last in will be Golden Spring and Michael David. Golden Spring steps up. We're all set. They're off. Out well from the center of the gate, American, of course, with Golden Spring. Bridge to Nowhere in forward position, third on the far outside. Easter Sunday Girl is fourth, now third, saving ground with She's Hot to Trot between horses. Pop Chart has one beaten, and that's Frackamore. Golden Spring and Mikey David managed to outsprint the favorite American, of course, and have a 2-length lead as they race into the turn past the first quarter in 22-1. Another 2 lengths to Easter Sunday Girl, who's come off the rail in third. Another 2 to Bridge to Nowhere in fourth, being joined on the inside by Pop Chart. They're chased along by She's Hot to Trot and Frackamore at the back. The complexion changes as Golden Spring drops the anchor. A short lead now to American, of course, being challenged by Easter Sunday Girl. Trying to rally up the inside is Pop Chart. Widest is Bridge to Nowhere. It's American, of course, trying to fend off the challenge of Easter Sunday Girl. Pop Chart looking for a path. Comes off the rail, and here comes Frackamore from the back. A frantic final furlong in Fort Erie. It's Pop Chart and Alexis Sanchez. Pop Chart a neck. Pop Chart over a late charging Frackamore, then She's Hot to Trot. American, of course. Easter Sunday Girl, Bridge to Nowhere, and Golden Spring. 105-3. In the win photo, it's the number 5 Pop Chart over the number 3 Frackamore. Third was number 6 She's Hot to Trot, and fourth number 4 American of Course. Unofficial race 4 order is 5-3-6-4. Now returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's 4th race, number 5, Pop Chart. Pop Chart is a 5-year-old bay mare by Motown out of Brilliant Autumn, bred in Kentucky by Lantern Hill Farm, LLC. Rallying to victory under Alexis Sanchez, Pop Chart is trained by Steve Cathcart for Pan Am Racing. That's the first win in 8 starts this year for Pop Chart, her 4th lifetime win, completing the 5 1/2 furlongs today in a time of 1:05.3. Congratulations to the connections of Pop Chart. Hold all tickets until race 4 is made official. Race 4 is now official. Prices are up. Pop Chart pulls off a $20.30 upset, $9.30 to place, $6.20 to show. Number 3, Frackamore, $8.30 to place, $5.60. Third, number 6, She's Hot to Trot, $8.20 to show. $2 exacta 5-3, $109.40. The $1 try, 5-3-6, $247.05. $1 super, 5-3-6-4, $449.25. $2 double, 3-5, $41.70. $1 pick 3, $117 even. And the $1 early pick 4, $816.50. On screen now, the place photo from race 4. We'd like to say a big thank you to TELUS, sponsor of today's Fort Foodie Fest. TELUS Pure Fiber Internet is expanding in more areas of St. Catharines. And a shout out to our partners at FINA Insurance Solutions. FINA Insurance will see you through to the finish line. Race 5 is coming up in 20 minutes. There are no changes.
We get ready here for the late double as we just saw an upset in the fourth race from Pop Chart and really across the board there with the top three. We'll see if we can find maybe a little bit of a price here. But I did think that the price is probably going to be underneath in the exotics. This free Go-Go Alexander here in this mile turf event will look for his second lifetime win off a fourth place finish last time out where he faced winners for the first time in his career. He was able to graduate at the maiden optional ranks. Last time out he was in for $25,000. Now fresh off the claim, will race in a really nice allowance event. And I think kind of looking at his figures, he does have better turf figs than this group. Overall, he owns the strongest numbers, 260 plus Beyer speed figures. They're going to catch your eye, especially with his running style. I like the trip that he got two back from Pietro Moran just to kind of sit off of it. Rolled late, and he had to kind of work to get there. He wasn't all there in one kind of big swoop. It just took him a while to grind into that lead from the pace setter in there and the others, and was able to get the job done by half a length. I like him here. The barn's doing very well off the claim. They're also really hitting at a high percentage, about 23% right now. So I did want to back him. I thought the 6 was worth a look. Sunset Skippy, who was able to graduate 2 starts back. In his first turf try, it was going the 7 furlong distance, so now he picks up about an additional 1/8 of a mile, and he was full of steam late. It was a really nice race the way that it kind of panned out for him. The runner-up, Speedy Connection, came back to win next time out, so at least it's been a fruitful, productive event as well. And we have seen him against winners. We saw that last time out on July 20th, where I like the fact that he went 1 mile and 70 yards. He went further, so now he's going to cut back slightly. And he was clearly second best behind Grand Warrior, who we'll see here tomorrow at Fort Erie race. But Grand Warrior, was able to command things early on and take them gate to wire with Sofia Vivas about board. And I feel like this is the horse that sort of chased in vain, and he hung around. So, I think he's a little bit better on the grass, and I do think that last out effort, 1 mile and 70 yards, suits him very well for this event today. And, kind of looking at just his form prior to that, he was in some tough spots, so he's really matured in those last 2 starts and looks like he's just a better and bigger 4-year-old. Finally, from here, the 1, Galileo Street, was able to score a big upset on debut in that maiden special weight event. It was going 7/8, and the pedigree suggested this horse not only wanted grass but wanted to go long, and that was the case. Just got up in the final stages, was dead last early on. Thought it was a beautiful ride from Kurt Johnson, just not to rush this gelding, just let him figure it out. I think he not only was able to deliver, but speaking about figuring it out, I think he learned a lot out of that race. So the Beyer speed figure, probably not going to catch your eye, but I do think it's something that he can build upon. Not concerned about this one stretching out at all. If you watch that race, you could think that he could probably run all day long. And we'll see if he can take a step forward. It's always tough facing winners for the first time, and he did win on debut, but he still will need to advance here and improve, I think, to get the top spot. So for me, we'll see what the fresh face can do. The 3, Go-Go Alexander, some interest as well in the 6, Sunset Skippy, and the 1, Galileo Street. Good luck.
Field is making their way on track for today's fifth race. Race 5 is an allowance race for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. Traveling about 1 mile over the turf course, competing for a purse of $28,800. Race 5 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, double, and 20-cent superfecta wagering. Race 5 post parade. Number 1 is Galileo Street, ridden today by Kirk Johnson for trainer Danny Wills and owners Jeannie Ryan and John Carey. Number 2 is I Like It When It Snows. Leo Salas has the call for trainer Doug Carter, who owns with Terry Carter. Mary Biamont owns the number 3, Go Go Alexander. Luis Reyes rides for trainer Sharon Chicato. Number 4 is Whiskey Tango Disco. Pierre Mailhot pilots for trainers Tony Bennett and owner Jam Down Stable. Number 5 is Zimbabwe. Chad Lee in the saddle for trainer Cindy Musto, who owns in partnership with Gary Wright. Completing the field, number 6, Sunset Skippy. Luis Contreras in to ride for trainer Tom Steer and owner Richard Walpole. 2 minutes to post for race 5. Late double wagering offered here. We are on the turf. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the names of today's non-winning ticket prize winners to announce. Could Dave Monroe and George Minogue please head to customer service? Once again, that is Dave Monroe and George Minogue. Congratulations, you have won today's non-winning ticket prize draws. Please head to customer service to collect your prizes. Race 5 field is making their way onto the turf course before the starting gate takes position. Last call to get your wagers in. This race's current favorite at even money is the number 3, Go Alexander. We're on the turf to kick off today's late double. Get your wagers in. Race 5 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. Go Alexander bet down to 4-5 as we begin the loading process. Galileo Street, a winner on debut, the first to go in under Kirk Johnson. I Like It When It Snows, a last out winner, Leo Salas aboard. Go Alexander, now 3-5, makes his Fort Erie debut under Luis Reyes. As I Like It When It Snows gets right. Go Alexander comes up. Whiskey Tango Disco, the South Carolina bred with Pierre Mailhot. Zimbabwe and Chad Lee to gate 5. Last in will be Sunset Skippy and Luis Contreras. Sunset Skippy steps in. We're all set. They're off over a mile. Sunset Skippy missed the start. Speed from the center for Go Alexander, and I Like It When It Snows. Zimbabwe, third on the outside of the course with Galileo Street tugging at the rider in fourth, saving ground. Then it's Whiskey Tango Disco, and the trailer out in the center of the course is the slow starting Sunset Skippy. They race into the clubhouse turn. It's Go Alexander and Luis Reyes. They clear to the rail and set the pace as Galileo Street comes off the inside to take closer order in second. Good position on the inside for I Like It When It Snows, who's been passed by the gray Whiskey Tango Disco, making an early rush. Widest is Zimbabwe, and the trailer is still Sunset Skippy. They don't want to give Go Alexander too soft a lead. He went the opening quarter in 25-2, and he re-breaks trying to get away from Whiskey Tango Disco. I Like It When It Snows, biding his time on the inside of Galileo Street. Then it's 3 to Zimbabwe, and Sunset Skippy still has to pass them all. The half was 50-4. They race into the far turn. Go Alexander at 2-5, trying to shake loose from Whiskey Tango Disco. I Like It When It Snows all alone in third as Galileo Street begins to tire. Zimbabwe rallies and Sunset Skippy is trailed throughout. 3/4 and 1:15 and 2. They reach the head of the lane, and just like that, Go Alexander has gotten away from Whiskey Tango Disco, but now I Like It When It Snows coming with a rush. These two have opened up 7 on the rest. It's Go Alexander drifting out, trying to fend off I Like It When It Snows, but I Like It When It Snows, and Leo Salas drive clear to win by a neck. I Like It When It Snows over Go Alexander, then Sunset Skippy, Zimbabwe, Galileo Street, and Whiskey Tango Disco, 140 and 3. Unofficial in race 5, the winner is number 2, I Like It When It Snows. Second, number 3, Go Alexander. Third, number 6, Sunset Skippy. And fourth, number 5, Zimbabwe. Unofficial race 5 order is 2, 3, 6, 5. Back in front of us, returning to the winner's circle, is the unofficial winner of today's 5th race, number 2, I Like It When It Snows. I Like It When It Snows is a dark bay or brown gelding by Seattle Serenade out of Lucky Melissa, a homebred here in Ontario for Douglas and Terry Carter. Ridden to victory today by Leo Salas. I Like It When It Snows is trained by Doug Carter. Back-to-back wins over the Fort Erie turf for I Like It When It Snows, who completes the about 1 mile in a time of 1:40 and 3. Congratulations to the connections of I Like It When It Snows. Hold all tickets until race 5 is made official. Race 5 is now official. Prices are up. I like it when it snows. Return $17.80 to win, $3.90 and $2.50. Second, number 3, Go Alexander, $2.10 to place, $2.10. Third, number 6, Sunset Skippy, $2.30 to show. $2 Exacta 2-3, $29.80. The $1 Try, 236, $33.50. $1 Super, 2-3-6-5, $120.85. $2 Double, 5-2, $116 even. And the $1 Pick 3, $112 even. Be sure to come out next Monday. Labor Day will be the 91st running of the Prince of Wales Stakes. You can tune in to the live stream of the post-position draw for the Prince of Wales Stakes on Thursday, starting at noon. And if you're looking for some last-minute Prince of Wales fashion, we're now selling women's fascinators down at the customer service desk. Race 6 closes out the card in 20 minutes. There are no changes.
We round out the Sunday program here with a very nice maiden special weight event for the fillies and mares. They'll compete at 6 furlongs here on the main track. We have a field of 7 going postward. Some really nice looking fillies as well. I thought the first time starter, the 5, Don't Miss This, made a really nice impression for Julie Mathis. One that I didn't initially have in my picks, but I thought made a lovely impression. And even other horses that I like. The 4, Bermuda Brew, looks good. The 7, Blues Mommy, a horse that I've played a bunch this season. She hasn't been able to break through. This is probably the best that she's looked. But we'll start with my top pick in here, the number 3, Noisy Girl. And I'll be very blunt here. I typically don't pick horses like this in a maiden race. She's had her fair share of chances. She is 0 for 18. It makes you wonder what will be different in this 19th start. I will say that I think, kind of looking at her races this year, she's been better. 2 of them have been at the maiden special weight ranks here. One time she was in for a tag, and last time out it looked like the Connections had a discussion with Brian Shane and to kind of use different tactics, and didn't pan out all that bad. She typically had been showing some early foot. She rolled from off of it. She was simply second best behind Blazing Damsel. She was able to put away Blues Mommy, who ended up finishing behind her in that event. And I just thought, kind of looking at this race, she stays at 6 furlongs. Maybe she'll get the right setup in here. You don't know what the first-time starter is going to do. You have a couple of other horses that have maybe shown speed and faltered, so maybe she gets the right setup in here. But very tough sometimes to use horses like her because you have to wonder what makes it different today. So looking at some others, the 4, Bermuda Brew, is a fresh face here at a Fort Erie. She's going to try the dirt for the first time, and looking at her pedigree, dirt will be no issue for her as she's by Frat Daddy out of a Milwaukee Brew mare and a homebred here for Bermuda Blue Farm. And you feel bad for them. They've been unlucky. This is a horse that she's tried so hard, but she's had some awkward trips where things haven't panned out for her, and she's had to check. She's shown greenness. I think when she puts it all together, she does have the ability. So we'll see what sort of trip that she gets here. I think sometimes the concern with the closers on the dirt is that they typically don't fare as well here, but earlier in the program, we saw that big upset from Pop Chart and others. They were flying late, so I do think with just a little bit of rain, you wouldn't think it, the track's playing a little bit more fair. So excited to see what Bermuda Blue does here, first time on the dirt. And then finally, the 7, Blues Mommy. Looking at her, she's not a big filly by any means. She's really long, but to me, looking at her this season, this is the best that she's ever looked. She was also a little full of herself. You'll see her, she had a hood on when she walked over to kind of help her ease her nerves. She's a little high-strung today, but physically, this is the best she's looked. She comes in here off a 3rd-place finish where she made a move. She flattened just a little bit there, and she's a tough read because you look at some of her races go 4 back. A race like that's probably good enough to win today. So we'll see what she can do. I do think there's something to note here. The blinkers are coming off. I do wonder how that's going to impact her. As you go down the page, you can see she's worn blinkers throughout her career. So it's going to be a little bit of a switch up for her. Maybe it'll open her vision up, maybe have her a little bit more comfortable and settled early on. And she does have the outside draw on here, which I do think should work for her quite well. So we'll see if she can break through another one. She's 0 for 13, but I do think she has very credible races backing her. And I mentioned it, the first-time starter really caught my eye in here. So an interesting way to round out this Sunday program. We're back at it tomorrow with a 6-race card, and a week from tomorrow will be our feature day of racing here. A ton of stakes action highlighted by the Prince of Wales Stakes. So if we don't see you tomorrow, we hope to see you back in just about a week.
Field is making their way on track for today's 6th race. Race 6 is a maiden allowance race for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. Traveling a distance of 6 furlongs, competing for a purse of $26,550. Race 6 offers win, play, show, exactor, 20-cent try, and 20-cent superfecta wagering. Race 6 post parade. Number 1 is Sporty Angela. Alexis Sanchez rides for trainer Steve Cathcart, who owns in partnership with Joseph Roberto, Guy Blair, and Dan Blair. Number 2 is Can't Argue This. Kirk Johnson riding for trainer Julie Mathis and owner David Mathis. Number 3 is Noisy Girl, racing for Even Stevens Stables. Brian Shane in the saddle for trainer Roy Augustino. Bermuda Blue Farm owned the number 4, Bermuda Brew. Luis Contreras rides for trainer Noel Williams. Number 5 is Don't Miss This. Steve Jadu riding for trainer Julie Mathis and owner Bruno Schickadans. Number 6 is Melody Maker. Deshaun Gaskin pilots for trainer Joe Humber and owner Glenn Secura. And completing the field, number 7, Blues Mommy. Edgar Zenteno rides for trainer John Sims, who owns in partnership with Denise Carpenter. 3 minutes to post for the nightcap. Down to 1 minute to post for today's sixth and final race. Current favorite at 5-2 is the number 4 Bermuda Brew. 7-2 on the number 3 Noisy Girl. It's a competitive betting board. The longest shot on the board is only 9-1. Last call to get your race 6 wagers in. The starting gate is moving into position. Race 6 field is behind the starting gate. It is now post time. Favoritism still close between Bermuda Brew and Noisy Girl, 5-2 and 3-1 respectively. First in will be Sporty Angela, making her Fort Erie debut under Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez and Cathcart looking for their second win on the card. The Grays will go up next. Can't Argue That and Kirk Johnson, followed by Noisy Girl with Brian Shane. Another Gray, Bermuda Brew, currently the 5-2 favorite under Luis Contreras. Don't Miss This, the first-time starter under Steve Jadu. The homebred for Bruno Chickadans by Amy's Holiday. Debuting with blinkers. Don't Miss This goes in. Melody Maker, the daughter of McLean's Music with Deshaun Gaskin. Melody Maker goes up. Last in will be Blues Mommy and Edgar Zenteno. Blues Mommy steps up. We're all set for the nightcap. They're off. A good beginning. Bermuda Brew had to check a bit. Speed from the outside for Blues Mommy, being joined by Can't Argue That. Then it's Sporty Angela, third along the inside. Don't Miss This, racing as a pair with Melody Maker. Then Noisy Girl down along the fence in sixth, racing 3 lengths better than Bermuda Brew. It's about 8 lengths front to back with just over 4 furlongs to travel. The lead belongs to Can't Argue That and Kirk Johnson, a length and a half to Blues Mommy and Edgar Zenteno. Opening quarter was 22-3. Sporty Angela, Alexis Sanchez in the pink silks is all alone in third with Melody Maker fourth. Noisy Girl saving ground as Don't Miss This begins to fall back, and Bermuda Brew can still see them all. Midway round the turn, it's Blues Mommy and Can't Argue That. Noisy Girl is rallying on the inside, traveling well past the half and 46 flat, but there's a new distinct leader. Blues Mommy has gotten away from Can't Argue That. The threat is Noisy Girl, who's trying to rally into second, still has 4 lengths to make up. It's well back to the rest, but Blues Mommy looking strong on the front end. She's up by 5 under Edgar Zenteno with 70 yards to go. It's Blues Mommy, much the best to close out the card. Blues Mommy handwritten to the wire, then Noisy Girl, Bermuda Brew rallied to be third over Melody Maker. Can't Argue That, Sporty Angela, and Don't Miss This. 6 furlongs and 1:11-3. Unofficial in the nightcap, the winner is number 6, Blues Mommy. Winner is number 7, Blues Mommy. Second, number 3, Noisy Girl. Third, number 4, Bermuda Brew. And fourth, number 6, Melody Maker. Unofficial race 6 order is 7-3-4-6. Now returning to the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of today's 6th race, number 7, Blues Mommy. Blues Mommy is a 4-year-old bay filly by silent name out of Clementis, bred in Ontario by Tequesta Racing Stable. An easy victory today under Edgar Zenteno. Blues Mommy is trained by John Sims, who owns in partnership with Denise Carpenter. Blues Mommy breaks the maiden in start number 14, assuming control in the stretch and completing the 6 furlongs in a time of 1:11-3. Congratulations to the connections of Blues Mommy. Hold all tickets until race 6 is made official. Race 6 is now official. Prices are up. Blues Mommy returns $11.20 to win, $5.20 and $3. Second, number 3, Noisy Girl, $3.90 to place, $2.30. Third, number 4, Bermuda Brew, $2.50 to show. $2 exacta 7-3, $27.90. The $1 try 7-3-4, $39.95. $1 super 7-3-4-6, $84.05. The $2 double 2-7, $90 even. $1 pick 3, $962.50. The $1 late pick 4, $1,193.45. And the $1 pick 5 returned $3,814.55. Visit our website, FortErieRacing.com, for information about everything going on here at the track. Tune into the pre-race show for info about the track conditions, scratches and changes, handicapping, and info about upcoming races and events. Racing is back tomorrow at Fort Erie. Post time will be 12:15. Tune into the post position draw for the Prince of Wales Stakes on Thursday, September 3rd at noon. You can catch the live stream at FortErieRacing.com. Tune into your TV Niagara for the Fort Erie Race Replay Show. Channel 70 HD or 100 Epico, Thursdays at 10:30, Saturdays at 4, and Sundays at noon. And that concludes the action today here from Fort Erie Racetrack. We'd like to thank everybody who joined us here for Fort Foodie Fest. In spite of the wet conditions, a great crowd was on hand. We'd like to thank you all for coming out. More racing action tomorrow at 12:15, and a reminder that next week on Labor Day will be the Prince of Wales Stakes. So still plenty of great racing action to come this season here at Fort Erie Racetrack. We hope to see you all again. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon.